Hi, and welcome to day 7 of this Healing Through the Meridians Yin Yoga practice. So today we'll be focusing on Yin and Yang as opposing forces rather than a meridian. And so we'll be doing a Yin and Yang yoga practice combined, which is really about balancing the energies that exist here in these two opposing forces, which are ultimately interconnected at the same time. So remember, as we're flowing through this practice, that this is all about balancing the softness and the stillness with that energetic movement side. So make sure that you have your mat, you can play your music, and we'll come and find the soles of our feet together for our first position. So have your feet about hand's distance away from your pelvis. And then you might like to sit on a blanket or a cushion here for butterfly pose. Let's lengthen up through the spine, bring the hands onto the legs. And let's begin with a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Just take a few more breaths like this, maybe closing down the eyes. Breathing in deeply to the belly, breathing out deeply through the mouth. Settling into this pose. Beginning to notice how the body and the breath feel. Just let whatever comes come right now, without trying to force anything. And drawing the attention to the breath, keeping the body relaxed. Still. Let's really see if we can breathe into those organs, the kidney, the rib cage, the lungs. So that as you breathe in, you feel an expansion out to the back of the body. And allow your exhalations to be really smooth and long too. And as we breathe like this, fully and deeply to the rib cage and the back of the body, we're going to visualize energy moving up and down the spine. So bring your awareness to the base of your neck. And as you inhale, let your awareness travel down your spine all the way to your pelvis. As you exhale, energy travels from the pelvis up to the heart space and the base of the neck. Inhaling, energy moves down the spine. Exhaling, energy moves back up. Just staying with this, you may like to imagine that someone was running a finger up and down your spine, really gently. Inhaling, the energy moves down. Exhaling, the energy moves back up. Gently allowing the breath in to move energy down the spine to the pelvis. Breathing out, moving the energy up the spine to the heart space, the nape of the neck. This visualization is an amazing way to cycle energy through the body. If we can imagine this chi, this prana, being circulated through our spine, our nervous system, this can really help to actually manifest this and make this happen. Releasing that visualization, and an option here for the last couple of moments to just make some circles with the neck. Be really gentle, and just let your neck move in a way that feels good. Circling the head. And stay with those deep breaths so that we're making space in our lungs just by breathing. Finding that movement in the stillness. And let's take a deep breath again. Inhaling. Exhaling, open your mouth. When you're ready, really gently walk your hands back. And then bring your hands behind you, knees locked together, and allow them to sway from side to side. Notice how the body feels. And then take your time to come into an all fours position. Hands directly underneath the shoulders and toes tucked underneath as well. So we begin to get that pada bandha, that foot engagement. Spread through the fingers of the hands and really connect into the earth here. Pressing up so that you feel this in your shoulders. Back of the neck is nice and long. Let's take an inhalation to drop the belly, look forwards. Exhaling to round the spine. See if you can look towards your belly button. Inhaling, come forward, spread the collarbones. Exhaling round the spine. Let's just do that 3 more times. Move with the sound of your own breath. Close your eyes if that feels good to you. Remembering to find that stillness in the movement here. Perhaps pausing in a place that feels good. And then take your time to come back into a neutral position. Back of the neck nice and long. And then we'll gently press through the hands and lift the knees just off of the earth, toes still tucked. Take a breath out and lower your knees back down, really nice. Inhaling, lift your knees up, press through the hands. Exhaling, come back down. Let's just do that one more time. Inhaling, feel your core engage. This time we're going to stay for 3 breaths. Press evenly through both hands, last one. And then lifting your hips to downward facing dog. Keep your knees nice and bent here. And allow the hands to press, including the index finger. Imagine turning your armpits to face each other as you lift your hips super high. And then alternately bend each knee. Find some length in the other leg. Nice. Let's come back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in, bend your knees, look forwards, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Keeping them hip distance apart, take an exhalation and fold over your legs. Take an inhalation, roll up through the spine as slowly as you can, vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking on top of each other until you come into standing. Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, roll back down through the spine. Bend your knees as you come down. Shoulders hanging, head is hanging. Inhaling, bring your hands to your shins, look forwards. Elongate your spine. Exhaling, re-bend those knees. Step back with your right foot. Inhaling, bring both hands onto the left knee. Press through the left foot to come into a square lunge. Bring your hands into your heart center here. Find that stillness in the movement. As you breathe out, bring both hands to the sides of the front foot. Step back into a plank pose. Option to lower the knees here. We're going to stay for 3 breaths, creating some heat in the body. Press your heels away. Really nice. And then dropping your knees to the floor. Let's bend the elbows towards the back of the mat and come down onto the belly. Untuck the toes. Take a breath in to lift through the heart space. Imagine dragging your hands towards the back of the mat. As you breathe out, come back down with the chest. Press through the hands. Knees on the earth. Lift back up to downward facing dog. Regulating the breath here. Bending the knees. See how high you can lift your hips. Take a breath in, bend your knees. Take a few steps or one big step to get to the front of the mat. Breathing in, hands to the shins. Lift through the heart space. Breathing out, bend forward. Step back with your left foot. Left toes untuck as you rise up, both hands on the right leg. And then come into that square lunge. Press through the sole of the right foot. Hands in the heart center. Find that stillness. Notice your breath. Exhaling, bring both hands to the outside of the front foot. Step back into your plank pose. Take a breath in here. Exhale, drop knees to the earth. Elbows to the back of the mat as you come down. Inhaling, lift through the chest. Option this time to lift the hands off of the earth as well as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press through the toenails of the feet. Engage your legs. Take a breath out as you come back down. Tuck your toes. Press through the hands to rise back up to downward facing dog. Bending your knees to look forwards. Taking a big step or a few baby steps to get to the front of the mat. Let's inhale, hands to shins, extend the heart space. Exhale, re-bend the knees, fold forwards. Inhale, keep bending your knees, engage through the core and reach the arms forwards. Have the palms of the hands facing down. And have a look at your toes and make sure you can see all 10 of them. Make sure we're not sticking the bum out here. Gently engage through the core and the front ribs. See if you can sit down a little deeper, bringing the belly towards the thighs, really feeling those quadriceps working. Just taking one more deep breath here. And then exhaling to release down. Bring the hands towards the ground, keep the knees bent. Inhaling, lift through the chest, look forward. Exhaling, step back with that right foot. Bring the right knee to the earth. Keep the right hand grounded. Reach up with the left. Option here to tuck those back toes and lift up through that back knee. Stay with what feels right for your body. Wherever you are, look wherever your neck feels comfortable. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Create some heat in the body. Really nice. Exhale, bring that left hand back down. Inhale, come up into a high lunge. Bending through both knees here. Find the hands in the heart center. Finding your breath. Take a breath out, open through the back foot, reach your arms out into a T for Warrior Two pose. Take an inhalation, straighten through that front leg, reach towards the front of your mat. Imagine you're between two panes of glass. And then as you breathe out, left hand down towards the left shin, right arm reaches up. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Check in with the outside edge of your back foot and see if you can really ground it, press it into the earth. Space being created through the ribcage. Let's just take 2 more breaths here, feeling that stillness in this movement. And then inhaling, rise back up to standing. Take an exhalation, bring the hands to the heart center. And see if you can turn on that back foot here, facing forwards towards the front of the mat. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the earth. Step back to your plank pose. Take a breath out as you bring the knees to the ground. Elbows in as you come down. Inhaling this time, let's slide the elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx Pose. Spread all 10 of your fingers wide. And imagine lifting up through the belly button, engaging the front ribs. Can you find the flow of your breath in this stillness? Gently bring your hands back under the shoulders, tuck your toes, press back up into downward facing dog. Let's take a breath in and exhale through the mouth. Bending your knees to look forwards. Take a big step or some baby steps to get to the front of your mat. Inhaling, lift through the heart, extend the spine. Exhaling, bend the knees to fold forwards. Inhaling again, sit the hips down, reach the arms forwards into this awkward pose. Imagine drawing the shoulders back, palms face down, engaging the front ribs. See if you can sit a little bit deeper, 2 more breaths. Gently exhaling to fold forwards. Inhaling to look forwards, lift the heart. Exhale, let's step that left foot back. Left hand stays grounded as you reach the right arm up. Option to tuck those back toes and come into a lunge. Wherever you are, squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Connecting to the breath. Exhaling, let's untwist. Bring the back knee down. Inhaling, rising up into your high lunge. Bend both knees. Hands draw into the heart center. Take an exhalation to turn that back foot out, open through the arms, and then straighten through your front leg. Inhaling, reach towards the front of the mat. Exhaling, right hand down towards the shin, left arm reaches up. Triangle pose, shining the heart space open towards the sky. One more breath here. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands to the heart center as you turn to face the front of your mat again. Breathing out, let's bring the hands down, step back, this time downward facing dog. And then gently exhaling to bring the knees to the earth, finding child's pose, hips towards the heels. Exhaling through the mouth. Pausing here. Connecting to how the body feels. When you're ready, inhaling to look forwards, press through the hands to come back to a tabletop position. Tucking all 10 of your toes again, lift back up to downward facing dog. Bending your knees to look forwards, take a big step or little steps to get to the front of your mat. Breathing in to lift the heart. Breathing out, find Uttanasana, forward fold. Let the head, neck and jaw go and bend your knees as much as you need to. It may feel nice to sway from side to side. Gently breathing in to lift the heart. Breathing out to bring the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. And we'll come into a seated position, so find your way. Having the hands underneath the knees here, lifting up through the head and shoulders, and then finding our way into boat pose, so squeeze the knees in towards you and lift the feet up. An option to stay here, or if you're feeling ready, you can release the arms. Keep the spine lifted, finding that flow in this position. Let's take one more breath. And then exhaling, let's cross the shins. Press the hands into the earth so you can lift the seat off the ground. Really nice. Just do that one more time. So hands back underneath the knees, or option to release the arms. Breathing into Navasana. Can you watch your breath here? Let's take two more. Really nice. Let's cross the shins again, and this time let's come into a seated position. Bring the hands onto the knees. Gently close the eyes and notice how the body feels. Can you feel any sensations? Can you notice any difference from the start of the class? Option to keep the eyes closed here. Breathing in, reach the arms up. Breathing out, left hand to the earth, reach over with the right. Elongate through the right side body. Keep the sit bones grounded. Breathing in to reach up. And then exhaling, let's wrap that right arm underneath the left for eagle arms. Lift the elbows up towards the face. Breathing again into the back of the body. Inhaling, unwrap the arms, sweep the arms up gently. Exhaling, other side. Left arm reaches over. Inhale, come back up. This time, left arm reaches underneath the right for eagle arms. Lift the elbows up towards the face. Let the shoulders relax down the back. Gently unraveling, sweep the arms up one last time. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. And then we'll find our way onto our backs. And gently squeeze the knees into the chest. Take a moment to settle into this lying down position. And then let's extend that left leg away from us. Left heel all the way to the ground. Squeeze the right knee into the body. And then when you're ready, we're going to swap the legs over. So extend through that right leg. Bring the left knee into the chest. Right heel to the ground. And then gently swapping back over, right knee back into the chest. Extend the left. And then swapping back, left knee in, extend the right. Really nice. Let's bring both knees back into the chest. And then bring your hands to the insides of your feet so that your knees come out wide. We're going to end the class with a happy baby pose in a yin-like way. So this is your first option here. You can hold on to wherever the inside of the legs feel good for you. Or if you're feeling open in the hips here, you may like to come into full happy baby. Remembering that we'll stay here and breathe, finding that stillness. So do what works for you and your body. I'm going to stay in the first pose. Let's start by taking a deep breath. Feel the back of the lungs expand. Exhale, open the mouth. Take as many breaths like this as feels good. So coming back to stillness. Coming back to the breath. Can you still feel the energy, the chi through the body? Fresh chi coming in every time you breathe in. Every time you exhale, you can relax a little bit deeper into this pose. Anytime your mind wanders, just gently bring the awareness back to this moment, through the breath, through the body. You notice how this position is changing for you as we stay in stillness. Can you let go or release that little bit more into this pose? Knowing that the more that we let go, the deeper we can work in Yin Yoga. Let's take a deeper breath here. And exhale, release through the mouth. Take your time to gently release from this pose. Finding any movement that you need before we make our way into Shavasana. Allow the palms of the hands to face up. Sigh out through the mouth. Allow the weight of the body to sink down to the earth. The feet and the ankles heavy and still. The calves, the backs of the knees resting. The length of the quadriceps relaxed. The pelvis, the hips sinking down heavily. The abdomen gently rising and falling, relaxing the inner organs. The rib cage, shoulders melting like ice to water. The length of the arms from the armpit to the fingertips. Relaxed, resting. The neck and the back of the head sinking down heavily into the earth. The space between the eyebrows relaxed and unfurrowed. The micro muscles of your eyes and even the tongue are relaxed. Allow your body to rest here in this stillness. Stay for as long as you need in Shavasana, at least 5 minutes, 10 or 15 or longer if you can. Knowing that this is such an important pose. When you are ready, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Listening to any sounds you can hear around you. Taking a big stretch, reaching through the arms and the toes. And then gently giving yourself a hug, knees into chest. Rolling onto whichever side you choose today. And in your own time, coming up to seated with your eyes softly closed. Taking this moment to notice how you feel. Allowing the hands to gather at the heart center. A soft smile to happen on your lips and into your eyes. Gently bowing in and smiling towards yourself. Thanking this body for everything that it can teach us.